Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, I will talk about a common point of confusion for many students. I am calling this video to set or to change. Now, it turns out in Scratch, set and change are very common words when it comes to variables. However, for today's video, I shall look at a specific problem in context of the pen block, since that is what we use for drawing. Now, on my screen here is a simple code which will draw a square, right? Let's look at this briefly. So we say when flag clicked, show, put the pen up, erase everything, set pen color to 100, set pen size to 10, go to a starting point, put the pen down, glide to the 4 points that complete the square, and then hide, right? Let's see what happens when I run this code. So as expected, I get a sprite and it nicely draws a square for me, right? Now, let's say I want to make this square little bit thicker, right? So it's very simple. I go and say set pen size to perhaps 15, right? And with this, what will happen? My square, as you can notice, has become thicker, right? Now let's say instead of set, if I used change, right? So this is very interesting. I see a lot of people making this mistake. So let's say instead of set pen size, I use change pen size by one, right? Now something very interesting is going to happen. Notice, what are we telling Sprite? We are saying when flag clicked, do all this, then change the pen size by one, which means whatever the pen size is right now, change it by one, which means increase it by one, right? So when I click this flag, for example, right now the pen size is set to 15 because you ran it at 15. When I click the flag, the pen size will become 16, right? So if I keep clicking this, it's probably not so obvious, but let's say I click flag multiple times, right? You notice that the thickness of the line is continuously increasing, and that is because I have used change pen size, right? Now exactly same thing applies if I come to the pen color, right? So instead of set, if I use change pen color by 10, right? So what you will notice is, if I, let's say, put this code, so here I have said erase everything, change pen color by 10, right? So what will happen is Sprite will take the present color, change it by 10 and draw a new drawing, right? So every time I click the flag, you will notice the color changes a little bit, right? You notice this, right? In fact, the drawing is also getting thicker and thicker, right? So most of the times we do not want this because we want our drawing, in general, our outcome to be predictable, right? So the way to manage that is to use, in the beginning of the code, always use set, right? So set pen size to probably 15 or whatever you want, set pen color to whatever you want, right? So now let's say I say set pen size to, maybe I'll make it 10 again, right? You notice, and I'm setting pen color to something like a red color. You notice, no matter how many times I set, how many times I click the flag, right? I keep on clicking this. It will always draw the same drawing because I am using set, right? Now, you might wonder, how do I change this color if I want to, right? No problem. Always you can use the change block, however, after having set it, right? So for example, I can say, let's say here, I can put it here, or I can even put it somewhere here, right? But once I've set it, let's say once I've set it, I say change pen color by 10, right? So what will happen is it will still be predictable because it will set the color to red first, then change it by 10. Similarly, it will set the pen size to 10, then change it by 1, right? So in short, set allows you to set something, to fix something to a given value, right? Whereas change changes it from that value. And remember, Sprite is extremely obedient. It will keep in its mind whatever was previously there, right? So if you previously had pen size of 10 and you said change it by 1, it will faithfully change it no matter how thick the line has become, right? So the simple rule of thumb is in the beginning of a code, use set, right? Always use set, right? As the code progresses and you want to change something, use change, right? Now, as far as set is concerned, you can use it little later in the code. For example, you might want to say, instead of change pen size by 1, you can say set pen size to 11, right? It will have the same effect, right? Then you can say set pen size to 12, right? So set is always taking the whatever quantity to a fixed value, right? But in general, I recommend in the beginning use set, in the middle use change. More importantly, in the beginning, do not use change because your code becomes unpredictable, right? Like I said, this concept, although we see it here for the case of a drawing, it will be something that we will use it for any variable, and variables, whenever we learn them, are a extremely powerful uh, construct, and hence we have to remember the same principle that in the beginning use set. When you want to change it by in the program, use change, right? Set is something you can use in the beginning and also in the middle, but don't use change in the middle. In the beginning, change should only be in the middle. Okay? I hope this was helpful. Take care, enjoy scratching. Bye bye.